Hello, good morning and welcome to Fuji in Japan. In the shadow of Fujisan, the holy mountain, we are ready for the penultimate race of the FIA World Endurance Championship. The 6 hours of Fuji, round 7 of 8 of this year's season. And as ever, a big and super enthusiastic crowd on hand here. We are as far east as we go, from as far west as we go, where we were 2 weeks ago in Texas. We are in Japan for the 6 hours of Fuji. After this, we head to Bahrain at the beginning of November for the season finale. Among the drivers on the grid, everybody looking to try and beat the home team, Toyota. 28 degrees currently, track temperature 34 degrees. Anthony Davidson, a hot Fuji speedway is always going to be a challenge.
Always fun to be here in Fuji, no matter who you're driving for. But let's take a look at this beautiful circuit. 4.5 kilometers long, 2.8 miles, 16 corners, clockwise track, lots of elevation. The first corner we're going to look at is turn 1. Important, obviously, at the start of the race today. Late braking, cold tyres, always difficult to get through. We saw a lot of action there last year. A great overtaking spot into that corner. Next one up, we got the hairpin. Not quite a hairpin, but that's its name, down at turn 6. A really important corner to get right consistently through the race. It's very easy to make mistakes there. Down the hill in towards turn 10, Dunlop corner. Compromise that corner, it's a good overtaking spot as well. Compromise the exit to help through turn 11 and up the hill through an incredibly complex final third sector. A great track and one that you have to be fully on top of the car at all times.
The Lexus stunt plane entertaining all of us.
Can't beat the thump of a Huey. There's just something very, very distinctive about that big twin rotor helicopter from the Japanese Defence Force. It is going to be a hot day, but as ever, behind the grandstands there, you can see the big, heavy clouds threatening. It's really strange. If you look from where the 1 minute board is being shown to that lady's left, blue sky, light cloud, always looks pretty clear. But if you look behind the main grandstands here, which is where the mountains roll down towards us, it's always almost swathed in big, thick cloud. And if that comes down, then we end up with the rain. And that's part of what draws people to racing circuits, Anthony. It's not just the combat, it's the sound, it's the sights, it's the smells of this. It is a visceral experience.
Yeah, it's the diversity of the World Endurance Championship, isn't it? All the different manufacturers now involved, the different shapes and sounds, like you say. It's an experience, a proper experience for the fans in the grandstand.
Lights off on the safety car. We are about to go racing in Japan. We go green in Japan, and an early move across the track from the outside the front row of the grid from the number 8 Toyota has not worked. In fact, rather than keeping the door closed, they have opened the door. Number 15 BMW, Marco Wittmann, again starting the race. Up into second, it is the Cadillac that leads. And there is a Toyota Porsche battle. That's the 7 car Mike Conway, shoved off on the grass by the number 6 car of Lawrence Van Tor. Miguel Molina has gone by Conway. And there's been some changes at the back. The Lamborghini has been shuffled right to the back of the hypercar pack, but it is the Cadillac that leads from the BMW with the number 8 Toyota in third, and there's Conway. Oh, does he avoid contact? He does. One of the Ferraris, though, getting shuffled really quite badly back. That's 51 getting dropped down the order. The Alpine and the BMW going by. This is the 83. We had a quick view of Robert Kubica. He's got 38 and 94, I think, down the outside. That's the Peugeot that's coming with Loic Duval.
The Cadillac in front absolutely bolted. The dream start. You see this slipstreaming going on right aboard with the Peugeot, and the number 83 has a huge lock-up and makes contact with car 5.
The moment you saw the tyre smoke, you knew it was going to be a hit, and somebody got hit in front as well. There's an Alpine, and is that the 51 Ferrari? That's going to be a yellow flag.
Rear clip off one of the Porsches as well.
Yeah, that will be number 5. There it is. Oh, their race has taken a big hit early on, and they are a championship contender, those drivers.
Disappointing scenes for our last race victor.
Yeah, I thought with the debris there we were likely to get a safety car. Unfortunately for Earl Bamber, who'd already built up a 2-second lead in the first 2 laps. That will bring him back to the rest of the field.
Many cars here in this situation would have made contact anyway without 83 causing that chain reaction. And then that's why. But Robert Kubica, the irony is, he continues with very little damage,
Very little damage.
any.
A little bit of scarring on the front left. In LMGT3, the pole-setting Ferrari of Francois Heriot dropped right back. He's now down in 11th place. Leading the race is Tom Van Rompuy.
55 Ferrari, the pole sitter, is in the pits. Now, we haven't seen the start in LMGT3. Fuel going in, standard practice, but they are ready to examine something underneath the car. The little brace to stop the air jacks compressing. Did he have side-on contact? Are they looking at a drive shaft? Well, the pit lane is now open. The safety car remains out, so that is the damaged red Ferrari, the 51 car, going into the pit lane. And behind it also in comes 83.
The 51 car, he goes in quick anyway. I think that would have been contact. I mean, yeah, his get out there is to say I was hit from behind, which he genuinely was. But I do believe that there probably would have been contact anyway with the speed that he was carrying into that corner. If it avoids a splash at the end of the race, well, that's your splash done now under safety car conditions, so it makes complete sense if you can catch the back of this gaggle that are just coming in towards turn 13 now.
You need everything and luck to win a title, and not getting caught up in all that carnage is possibly the sort of luck that the Porsche team need. We go back to green flag racing. Here's a battle between the 2 McLarens. Down the inside, Josh Cagle, James Cottingham, oh dear. Mick Schumacher, yes, that Mick Schumacher, just ahead of Phil Hansen. So this is the battle for 11th spot, just outside the points. Only the top 10 in each class get points. Hansen having a little look, that's more in hope than anticipation, I think. But further back, this is the Alpine going down the inside of René Rast. So that will be a change for 14th place as Ferdy Habsburg claws his way back up 1 spot. Yeah, the Alpine is right back with the Lamborghini, and this time the Lamborghini over the curb. Anthony loses traction, and the Alpine is on 4 wheels on the tarmac. And here comes the Porsche as well, the first of the Hurst Team Joti cars. This is Phil Hansen, car number 38.
It's not over yet, down into turn 1, the Lamborghini's back, you can see on the slipstream. So this time it's the Alpine that has to defend. The Jota's getting involved as well, having a sniff around, but I think the Alpine's just got this one covered on the exit, and yeah, so capitalised on that sea of traffic that they had around the final 2 corners there. So finally, Alpine's in front of the Lamborghinis.
Grandstand view of the Alpine Lamborghini battle that continues to rage. The green car of Edoardo Mortara on the right, now on the left, and slinging it down the inside comes Ferdy Habsburg. He goes through, picks up the place at that turn 10 hairpin. Oh, and again, Mortara looked like maybe he had a little bit more pace, and inside for second place goes Sarah Bovy. So Lamborghini loses a spot in Hypercar but gains one in LMGT3. Sarah Bovy in the Iron Dames car up to second in LMGT3. Now she's got to chase down the race leader. Tom Van Rompuy's Corvette is 3.5 seconds and more up the road. But Edoardo Mortara, probably not the only Hypercar driver struggling for tyres. But Anthony, this isn't getting to the end of the double stint they're going to have to do on those tyres. This is getting to the end of a single stint that they're doing on the tyres. They need to do a double. Here's another battle. This is 99, the white car and the green highlights. And this is for 8th place. Mick Schumacher and Neil Jarni. Schumacher's gone by in the Alpine, but Jarni came back at him again, Anthony.
And the reason for that is because he had to slow down the apex because of the GT car in front, and he launched the car over the curb, but he's back on the attack. It might actually work out better for him from what happened there. And of course, yeah, on the inside, late braking. We've seen good straight line speed from the Alpine. Another position claimed for Mick Schumacher. Yeah, good stuff.
Mick Schumacher really alight here, isn't he? He's gone ahead of the, in fact, that's Ferdy Habsburg got ahead of Jean-Eric Verne in traffic, and this is how it happened, Ant. Oh, this is a little bit earlier. This is the other Peugeot getting duffed up.
Well, this was the Will Stevens moment down at turn 1. It went through towards turn 3, and the 93 car getting pushed off track, and then Hansen got involved as well, like you pointed out at the time, Martin, and Will Stevens moves out to overtake the GT car. Wow, that was tense stuff.
Well, they were both passing that white Peugeot, and in the background of the shot is the Alpine that's on the left of the screen. So Ferdy Habsburg took advantage of the two Jota cars, slowing down Jean-Eric Verne, and within a lap had caught and passed the Peugeot. 82 in the garage, while the race leader 81 stopped as well. I wonder if Control-Alt-Delete is going to solve the problems here for Hiroshi Koizumi, Sebastian Boden, Danny Juncadella. Oh no, it's more serious than that. They're using a hammer. Well, as I always say, if you can't fix it with a hammer, it really is broken. The Iron Dames lead for the moment, yet to make their first stop. This is the Lamborghini, that's the word I was searching for, versus the Porsche. Eduardo Mortara and Jean-Eric Verne. We've seen a lot of this, haven't we? The Lamborghini seems to have been a traffic magnet, a hypercar magnet. He's been in a battle with just about everybody in the field, Edo, but having started in the top 10, it's now down to 14th place for the Lamborghini. It's still not getting tyre life enough to really be competitive through two stints on that rubber. And Darren Leung on the tail of this queue in the other BMW from Team WRT, chasing D-Station's Aston and the Proton Mustang in 10th position.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Virtual safety car deployed. VSC.
And safety car will follow virtual safety car. That's the way this works.
The pits are open under the virtual safety car.
Information to pit lane, information to pit lane. This is to remove some debris at several points of the track, which we will do once VSC is over. And this is also to remove some pieces of advertising with which we in race control are not very comfortable with. I will keep you posted on how things go.
Well, let's hear from the Jota team as various other hypercars also stop for fuel.
You know you just put me out behind the Peugeot and the Lamborghini here, yeah?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good. Just bear with us on the strategy, mate. It's a long race.
Yeah, it better work. It better work. That's all I say.
Copy. All good. All good.
Because we know the right strategy was the other one.
Yeah, the sister car is boxing us.
I'm not here.
Yeah, copy that. We'll copy that. The sister car is going to box as well.
Yeah, I don't care about them. I'm here to win, not to be safe.
Copy. Understood, Will.
Will Stevens there. I mean, from a driver's point of view, you don't often see the bigger picture. Jota usually as a team are impeccable when it comes to strategy. It's definitely an advantage, obviously, to be pitting under the safety car. Will feels like he's lost out track position for other cars around him and saying, well, why have you done that to me? But Jota might see the bigger picture and say, there is a reason for this. Maybe they don't want to give that reason away to the other teams. They're being pretty coy about it.
The manager of car 6. When we convert this into a safety car, we will need your driver to please slow down because it will be tight.
Okay. All right, race director asking the team to make sure that everything happens, because as they go to safety car, the number 6 car is at the line. Doesn't seem to be slowing down. That seems to be speeding up.
It's to get the safety car between the LMGT3 car and the leading hypercar.
Yeah.
So the next car up the road is an LMGT3 car. What Eduardo is trying to tell them, it's this. So just out of shot to the left-hand side will be the 92 car. He's looking to give the safety car room to pick up the train safely.
He just wanted to avoid, Eduardo just wanted to avoid any pass-arounds potentially by picking up the wrong category. So that's what he was doing there. It's just it's quite an elegant way of doing it, and good communication between race director and team.
There we go. So Porsche lead from Cadillac and BMW, and that's the fortunes of war, isn't it? Because it's not that the BMW is rubbish and last, because the other BMW is in third place and looking very competitive. So, but for getting tangled up there at the start, the number 20 car could very easily be in podium contention. That BMW is a very raceable car. Lights off on the safety car, so we're going green this time around. So Pedro
Safety
Pichero
car is coming in at the end of this lap. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. Track is green, no overtaking before the line. No overtaking before the line.
We go green again in Fuji after our second short safety car period. Now it is a championship contender, but his task now is to disrupt the Toyotas which are in front of him, which are also more realistic championship contenders. So Fred Makovici attacking Sebastian Buemi.
Anyway, and the Ferrari goes for the move and gets it done in turn 4. So yeah, the Porsche just running out of a bit of grip there is Makowiecki. But I'm really struggling with the car as well in towards turn 6. What is going on there?
Interesting moments, isn't it? This could be a critical point in the championship. Change there in LMGT3. That's Nick Acosta past Sarabovia back up to second place. Sarabovia, remember, going long in terms of the bronze driver time.
On the inside, the BMW squeezing by the side-by-side battle that we look at here with the two GT cars as they head down towards turn 1.
This is a battle for 6th place in LMGT3. Ahmed Al-Hati and Clement Mathieu, still both bronze drivers.
What tyres did the Ferrari take? 50 is all over these two Toyotas, so he's already got past Sebastian Buemi, and now he tucks up Mike Conway.
And on forward brand new medium, so this explains the pace advantage over the Toyotas that only took the left-hand side tyres in their last pit stop.
Now then, here we go for second place. This is BMW looking as strong as they have at any time this season. Ahmed Al-Hati going by, Ian James for 4th. Don't worry too much about the orange and black Porsche. The Manthey EMA cars just come out of the pit lane. Maurice Schuring has taken that car over from Yasser Shaheen. And that orange and black car is still in the championship hunt. Lead change. That is Nico Costa in United Autosports McLaren ahead of the Corvette of Tom van Rompuy.
Lynn's got it covered for now. He knows he's there. So he pops to the outside. Lynn's got to be sharp on the brakes here, not to allow this to happen round the outside, and squeezes him out of road, but he hangs on in there. Not going to get it done in towards turn 3.
Sarabovi has handed over to Rahul Fry in the Iron Dames Lamborghini, and Ian James handed over the Heart of Racing Aston Martin to Daniel Mancinelli. So this is a battle of gold-rated drivers.
Alpine, they've had great straight line speed today. Can they utilise this now? Maxivier's going to go to the inside, a last minute duck out. He didn't want to show his hand too early, and now late on the brakes. Who can break the latest out of these two? Is it a little bit too deep? We go to the Alpine garage. They believe the job was done. It is. Gounon's thinking, I've seen my teammate do it, now it's my turn, because the Peugeot was compromised there in traffic out around the last 2 corners, and once again, right up behind, is it going to be a carbon copy of what we saw before? Yeah, to the inside he goes. Blue flags are waving for further back, but here's the action. They got GT cars though this time in front of them. How's this going to affect things? Through he goes, but very wide and almost off the track there, allowing the Peugeot to draw back alongside, but no, it's not quite enough for the Peugeot. Didn't have the momentum, and now we come to turn 3, and we got the GTs to deal with as well.
They're tied on points with the number 7 Toyota, the crew of number 50, second in the championship, and only a dozen points in front is the number 6 Porsche. If the race stops now, then Toyota would do slightly worse than the Ferrari, and the number 6 Porsche, of course, is leading, would do even better and extend that advantage. But it seems almost impossible that the hypercar title can be won before Bahrain.
Both cars 93 and cars 36, that's the Peugeot and the Alpine, will be getting drive-through penalties for an instant quite a long way time ago, 11:53, for not respecting yellow flags.
A very busy pit lane. Anthony and I were just discussing when the leaders would come in, and here it is. We're hearing that number 7 Toyota, which has got 14% usable energy left, will be in this lap. Now again, referring back to the last race in Kota, the BMWs were stopping when they had sort of 14-15% energy left, because that was electrical energy. Think about your hybrid road car. You have to stop for petrol when the petrol gauge is empty, no matter how much charge you got left in the battery, and that's the deal here.
Cars coming in, the 6 and the 2. Alpine 36 car has taken the drive-through penalty.
LMGT3 leader is in, so Nico Costa gets out. 20 BMW is due in, as is the number 50 Ferrari. Probably see the 15 BMW and the number 8 Toyota. Hertz Team Jota coming in as well in the next lap or so.
There's barely a team in this field that hasn't been battling at some point this season for a top 5 position.
Riding with Augusto Farfus in our LMGT3 class. In fact, it's not now, it's Valentino Rossi. That's literally just changed as I looked at the screen to see who was on board. It's changed to Valentino Rossi, so Valle at the wheel. And this car is, in fact, is Farfus 2 cars ahead in the 31 car. This is Valentino, he's in 12th position. And here's the view. Farfus coming back at him in the BMW. Augusto Farfus, supremely experienced in BMW GT cars and touring cars.
It's going to be that run down towards turn 1, as we so often see. Rossi's getting involved.
3 wide, Valentino trying to take advantage of that. That's brilliant stuff.
And he's read that situation pretty well. Pops up on the inside. He's got to be given space, though, for the other BMW on his left.
But Valentino is trying hard to get by both of them, and at the moment he's got by Augusto Farfus, and that move, using the toe of the 2 cars, that was a pure motorcycle racer's instinct, to throw it up the inside there and try and dive by them with your leg dangling into turn 1. Valentino Rossi really showing what he's made of. Right. 3 of our leaders are in the pits, and Alpine now leads the race. Everybody in the Alpine garage get their cameras out. Jules Gounon leads from Edoardo Mortara in the Lamborghini. The Ferrari is trying to make the overcut on number 6 work. Coming in later, they needed to come in anyway, but he's got 2 cold tires on the left-hand side. If he survives up the hill here onto the big slide onto the straight, then Lotterer is going to be well placed to try and get by. Lamborghini now lead the race as Jules Gounon pits from the lead. Let's take a look at this little battle, looking back from Manthey EMA, the Manthey Pure Racing car, and there comes the BMW. It's that man Valentino Rossi again. Look at that. I tell you what, this may be his best stint of the season. He's had some fun stints already this year.
He's sadly had a couple of races where he's not been able to get in the car, hasn't he? By the way, leader in the pits, and I think that marks quite the moment. Lamborghini Iron Links from the lead of this race. I think that means that every factory team has led a race to the WC this season.
The EMA Porsche battling here with the better of the 2 Lexuses, Clement Schmidt, and this is Valentino Rossi behind Schmidt. He's going down the inside again.
This is, you're right, an incredible stint so far for Rossi, and he sees the opportunity on the inside. He can't believe his luck. The seas part, and he's through 2 cars in 1 corner.
Valentino Rossi's made up 5 places in 2 laps. Or is it 6? Anyway, it's a lot. He is now up to 6th position. So the BMWs that were nowhere, suddenly Valle, I don't know what he had for breakfast, but I'm having it tomorrow. Catmack's very slow. What's going on? He was passing Marcello halfway through the start of the lap. Caddy's coming in. Earl Bamber wobbling over the curbs. Loose wheel or a puncture? Puncture, right front puncture. Earl Bamber struggling to get back to the pits in the Cadillac, and here's why, Anthony.
Yeah, so they were close down the main straight, but this is the point of contact, I believe, on the air. There we go. The clash on the exit of turn 1. Forced off circuit, I don't know.
Gregoire Sosi and Rahal Frey. This is for the lead of LMGT3, and Rahal Frey goes by Gregoire Sosi. So the Iron Dames lead for the first time today. Well, a lap ago, Nick de Vries got his nose inside the tail of Raffaele Marciello's BMW. He is all over the BMW like a rash, and he goes through on the inside. There's the grip advantage that he showed last time round here. So Raffaele Marciello came in from 3rd place, Nick de Vries up to, from 4th actually, Nick de Vries up to 3rd. Brendan Hartley and the Toyota now up to 4th.
Full course yellow in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Full course yellow, all the cars come down to 80 kilometres an hour, and that has fallen very well for United Autosports, who have pitted immediately under full course yellow, and Gregoire Saucy will then hand over to James Cottingham to get back into the car, and that means that they will lose less immediately because they're pitting while everybody else is essentially chuntering around very slowly. 2.5 hours of the 6 hours of Fuji remain. And fast 100 metres for one of our marshals there, recovering some debris off the circuit. It was debris in 2 or 3 places, so the race director has called for the full course yellow, which brings all the cars down to 80 kilometres an hour.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow removed.
Back to green flag racing, 2.5 hours to sort out who takes the top points here.
Lotterer is there, and Andre Lotterer into the pits. Great stint from Andre Lotterer.
So the race leader is on pit road. Into the pit lane this time comes the race leader. In sequence, Nick de Vries brings it in as fast as humanly possible. And Anthony, it's so important to do that, to lose no time on the way in.
And let the safety one go, or we don't?
No, you stay in front. They will protect us from Toyota. 3 laps to go, including this one. Don't bother about 51. Look ahead, 2.5 laps to go.
He's passed anyway because of the blue flag, so a little bit of a pointless message from the engineer. I have to say, you've got to give that place away when you're the lapped car there. That wasn't for position. The car 8 overtaken 51, so I'm not quite sure what they expected Pierre Guidi to do there in that situation. Blue flags will always prevail, or should prevail. If you don't, you're going to go and see race director.
Pit stops now are going to be super important for those top 3 or 4 cars. Hurst Team Jones are due to come in as well, and Charles Malaysia in the 4th placed Alpine.
So this was the inevitable, wasn't it, with Hartley much faster than car 50.
Well, the number 8 car pits second at the moment. Alpine go back to the lead. 35 Alpine, another great race from the French team. Up, cycling through into 2nd place at the moment is the recovering Cadillac ahead of the 7 tote of Nick de Vries.
So the Porsche in front of you is in full new tires, as well as car 50 in front of them. 4 new tires for them.
Mate, what I have to do? You'll make me lost 10 seconds behind the car 50 for nothing. And now what you pretend from me?
Rahel Frey steps out of the Iron Dames Lamborghini. Michel Gassin gets in for the final 2 hours and 4 minutes. That should be 2 full stops. And TF Sport lead with Rui Andrade in the Corvette. The Iron Dames came in from 2nd, Harter Racing in from 3rd. And Charles Malaysia in the Alpine has just set the fastest lap of the entire race, 1 minute 30.9. Cadillac, Earl Bamber leading the race at the moment, but is he peeling into the pit lane this time? He is. He will come into the pits, and that will be a driver change to Alex Lynn. We were asking about 15 minutes ago, what's happened to the 15 BMW? Why is it so far down? Well, now they're back where they should be, as all the outer kilter stops happen.
They short-fueled. They short-fueled the car. It was 48 seconds. It was an emergency service level of fuel going on the car.
This is
trouble at the right rear.
This is a nightmare, isn't it, for them? So did they short fuel the car on purpose, and this is all part of the plan, apart from that right rear, of course, or did not enough fuel go in?
That's quite possible.
They got track position by short fueling, so they got the car right up into contention, and they now have 1 pit stop left to do.
Meantime, in LMGT3, cycling round to the lead is our championship leaders. That's the first time that's happened.
Milesi looking really racy here. And the Alpine's had great pace all day today, hasn't it? They've been making their way up since that first corner crash right at the start of the race, and he's going to go for the move here. He's gone to the inside, right over onto the dust, onto the marbles, but he's drawn alongside and ahead into turn 1. The hunter has become the hunted there with Callum Ilott, and the Ferrari continues to pull away.
Staggering stuff from Charles Malaysia, becoming one of the drivers to watch in terms of raw pace. Lamborghini again. with Peugeot. This is the battle for 13th. Danny Kvyat, Nickel Jensen.
Once again is Jensen, and Kvyat's going to have to defend this one. On the inside he goes. The car's bottom out before the braking into 10. Round the outside he tries, does Jensen, and rudely chopped off. The door slammed in your face on the exit, but that was expected.
Looking at the ebb and flow of this.
And well, yeah, Nielsen, he got Milesi now, so he's got past the Jota. Now it's the Ferrari that he's absolutely flying, isn't he, as Charles Milesi? And look at this. Can he utilise that straight line speed of that Alpine we've seen all day once again? So he's going to go to the outside this time, as Fuoco's got the inside covered.
He's going to end up on the podium here.
Could well do, and gets through as well. The McLaren, that's on the left-hand side. A little bit wide on the braking, a little bit late, but he's got the move done. Brilliant stuff by Charles Milesi there, flying along.
Trouble for the Lamborghini. And that will be a turn it off and on again moment, I think, probably. Oh, no, hasn't turned it off yet.
No way, change gear.
What should I do?
If you can rejoin us, no way.
No.
Happened over that curb, didn't it? He tried to shift up on that curb. Gearboxes don't like that curb.
We are going virtual safety car at 15, 13, 30. In 30 seconds we're going virtual safety car.
And that means safety car will follow.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Virtual safety car deployed. VSC, VSC.
Anybody that stops here has got one more stop. It's as simple as that.
So yeah, you've done the driver change. All 4 tyres should get changed therefore as well, and you've completely minimised losses from having to do this under green flag conditions later on.
Same's happening for the LMGT3 cars. 46 BMW has stopped, so too the third-placed Iron Lynx Lamborghini. Danny Kvyat stranded in the Lamborghini. That's a shame, because that car has been hugely entertaining, and actually, on fresh air tyres, very competitive and very racy. Dries van Tor leads the field and is coming up at the moment through corner 12. Everybody has basically stopped.
It is going to be a dozen or more cars in a sprint 90-minute race to the finish.
And everybody will need one more stop.
Yes. Sadly, after a really encouraging race for the 63 Lamborghini, looks like a gearbox issue has seen them call it a day. What a shame. That car led this race.
Yep.
Twice.
The only slight problem for Toyota Gazoo Racing is the better placed car in the race is car number 8. The better placed car in the championship is car number 7.
So safety car is now called, and that gives us an order which staggeringly sees the Montai Pure Racing car lead the race.
Does it? Because they've just stopped. Yeah, it does. It is shown as our race leader, 92.
And this could be the championship.
How can they have done that from wherever it was they qualified, 19th or something?
Mighty pass around underway.
Okay, so basically this resets the race for everyone. So it will be a big fight with the Porsche 6 in front and the Toyota 8 behind. You have slightly fresher tires than the Toyota, and also slightly fresher tires than the Porsche in front that might have kept 2 tires for the end. We don't plan on changing tires until the end. So if you have pace, manage your pace with number 6 and take care of your tires. That's the big game now, and we might be looking for a big thing today.
Copy.
There's a massive opportunity here for BMW or for Alpine.
Lights are off on the safety car. We are ready to restart. 90 minutes and a few seconds will remain. Nearly 66,000 fans here this weekend watching the action, and I don't think any of them will feel shortchanged with what they've felt, what they've seen so far. Out of the final corner we go, back to green, and it is the number 6 Porsche, Kevin Escher, Basically his first flying lap, he really gets a great restart. Sarabovi, beg your pardon, it's Michel Gatting now in the Iron Dames Lamborghini. Final stint for them, and this is a battle for position. Team WRT. This is Sean Gelael in the 31 BMW. Gatting looking around the outside.
Yeah, Gelael looks like he's got it covered for now. Places his car nicely on the exit.
By the way, remember on lap 2, the pole-sitting Ferrari, the 55 car, Francois Heriot, stopped in the pit lane. They had an examination on the right rear, and then it was sent on its way. It's been at the tail of the field ever since. What they were looking at, they have now discovered, was a broken ABS sensor. So the 55 Ferrari, uniquely in the LMGT3 field, has had no ABS for the entire race. This is Davide Rigon on the inside, Italian on Italian action. The prancing horse gets by the Raging Bull, so he is up into, what did we say, 7th place, isn't he, in sixth position now. Yeah.
And Gatting did leave the door open. This is a change of position here. Finally, the Alpine, after putting all that pressure on car number 8, is through and up now into a podium position.
We've seen several overtakes like that, haven't we? Down the hill to turn 3 and 4. It's not the leader. Oh my goodness me, that's the 5 Porsche.
And the number 7.
Left rear puncture, number 7.
Big contact.
Wow.
And that's going to severely damage the car if you drive that back at that speed.
That's more than a puncture, that's a drive shaft as well, isn't it? The way the wheel was vibrating.
Returning to turn 3. Is he hit on the left rear? He's hit him on the left rear, isn't he, Kobayashi?
You can see Kobayashi in the mirror coming in underneath him. He tagged him in the back. Campbell spun, and then Kobayashi couldn't avoid him.
Okay, this is surely done, isn't it, for the Toyota? Is it just the wheel that's loose, or is it all of the suspension? If it is the suspension, they've got to be out of this race. There was another spin there in the final corner just then. One of the GT cars. I saw a car getting turned around, or it turned around itself.
Back at Manthey EMA, second in the LMGT3. That's the title done, unless something happens to the 92 car. They were the closest rival. And is that the car that you half saw spin? It must be. Is that Debris?
Has to be the car I saw turn around in the final corner.
I am at Toyota, and they're going to change the complete rear left suspension assembly that's completely bent.
The car behind is also for position.
Hey, mate, I know. Shut up, please.
If this race finished now over the Toyota, number 6 Porsche would have a 37-point advantage with 38 points available.
There's nothing to lose. Why be looking in the mirror at the car behind you? Nothing to lose. All eyes forward. You have to overtake that Toyota number 8 for the sake of the championship.
That's not full speed for James Collado. Surely, has he just recovered from a problem?
No,
he's got regen issues.
Something with the front.
MGU off, MGU off, MGU off.
It's continuing to deploy even when it's off.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so he can't stop the hybrid deploying. Yeah, that's them out of the race. They are retiring the car in the pit lane.
In history, of course, as Davide Rigon catching Valentino Rossi here. Up to the outside of the BMW through turn 1, down the hill, fended off by Valle, who's having a wonderful time here today. But this might be a low point if he loses a podium position.
Potential change of position, big contact with Gelael and Gatting in turn 1 actually. And here's a replay of that from inside the car. Oh, you'd have to say it was a little bit late, wasn't it, on the brakes.
The 83, by the way, is getting a drive-through. There's the Lexus behind this pair. Gelael get back through to take the position.
Lead of the race for United Autosports McLaren. An hour and 2.5 minutes to go. Well, this is where the pass happened for the lead in LMGT3. And Anthony, that was a good dive bomb. It was late, wasn't it?
It was late, but it was textbook. It was really well done, well managed. And of course, the GT3, the LMGT3's got the ABS at work as well. That's your friend when you're deep on the brake.
Is number 7 going anywhere? I think that's all the body language of race over. We're in the final hour at Fuji, race 7 of the FIA World Endurance Championship, the penultimate round of the season. And right now, 2 Porsches are looking to win titles. The number 6 car leads the race.
Toyota number 8 in pit lane now for their final stop of the race.
Watch this, the 2 battling it out once again, this time down into turn 10. The Lexus gets involved as well. Here we go, down the inside once again, but Galeo's super late on the brakes and turns in a bit early as well to the corner. Is Gatting going to arrive on the exit there alongside? And again, the Galeo goes wide this time. The move is finally done. Finally, after all this time, Gatting is through.
Full new set of tyres for Michelle Gatting, and she has dropped down now to 10th place after that pit stop, but everybody who's in front of her also needs to stop. Alex Lynn hands over to Earl Bamber for the final 47-48 minutes. There's damage, heavy damage on the nose.
Where's he picked that up from?
Absolutely no idea.
So many things go unnoticed in a World Endurance Championship race, and there's been a change of, speaking of things unnoticed, a change of position there. The Ferrari finally in front of the Porsche.
Porsche doing exactly what he needs to do, keeping going round and not getting hit by anybody.
Car number 2, is this where it happened on the replay here? Ooh.
That's where Mantai's puncture came from, Anthony. That's why Mantai EMA have lost the championship. Final pit stops coming thick and fast in Hypercar. 38 and the 50 Ferrari have both just stopped and left. And here comes the number 12 car.
Yeah, Klaus Bachler's got to be thinking about the championship as well here. They're in such a strong position, and you do feel that responsibility when you're in such a commanding lead of the championship.
The Porsche has not been, this Porsche has not been off the podium except in Le Mans. They had a disastrous Le Mans, Manthey Pure Racing. Their sister car did win Le Mans, so for Manthey it wasn't that bad, but for the Pure Racing crew, that was their disappointment. If they'd finished anywhere in the points at Le Mans, they would have been champions in Texas. Into the pits has come the 36 Alpine of Mick Schumacher, and that will promote the 35 Alpine of Charles Milesi into the top 3. And on the inside, Hirakawa makes the move. Does he make it stick? Is it clean? No, Rasmussen gets his nose back in front, but the Jota car, Anthony, looks like it's not got the grip that the Toyota has.
No, it doesn't, does it? It certainly hasn't got the pace, but there was some great switching of positions there.
For the lead in LMGT3, Grégoire Saucy in the orange and black McLaren, in the silver and red Ferrari. Davide Rigon trying to win here in Japan for Ferrari. This would be, if they can get in front, not only their first podium, but potentially their first win. And that is your 1, 2, 3. Ferrari and McLaren both racing for a first win in LMGT3, racing for a first win this season. And for McLaren, a first ever win in World Endurance is what's up for grabs. This is not a done deal yet. 32 minutes to sort it out. Saucy's not giving up. Leader in the pits for the final time. It's now or never for car number 6 and the Porsche Penske team. Left sides only, away he goes. 82 Corvette, this is the one that had the starter motor problem earlier on. Sebastian Bode pulls over with 30 minutes remaining. Is this going to be another safety car? Dries Van Tor in the pit lane, from the lead in the BMW.
There's been some race for these guys this afternoon, side by side here.
This 36, the Alpine versus the number 2 caddy, Earl Bamber, properly getting stuck in, and he has to jink out to the outside because of the GT car on the inside, and that caused this situation.
Wow, Earl Bamber in the barriers and with damage. Now, as he turns around, we're going to find out what I wanted to know, which is what's up with the left front. We can see the right front was okay. That's the end of their race.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's gone from bad to worse. And look, it was that little jink out from the Alpine and a reaction from Bamber. I don't think there was nothing he could really do there on the marbles. Let's watch again. So he goes to the inside. The GT's inside there on the line, and he makes that smooch onto the marbles. Look how slippery he is, what I was talking about earlier on, and bang. Race over.
Yeah, he
it's
was
as
just
simple as that.
Absolutely a passenger there, wasn't he? There's no point trying to bring it back. Don't forget there are yellow flags out down here as well because there is a damaged car and he goes straight off. I think we're on for a safety car. Is he still going to drag it back? He is. He's almost there, isn't he? He's taking this back on pure rage, isn't he? Absolute anger to get it back to the pit lane.
Be advised, we have a slow car in the pit entry road. We have a slow car in the pit entry road.
We have avoided the safety car, and that might have been the same. Again, another stroke of luck for the number 6 Porsche, because if we'd gone safety car, they would have had the BMW right behind them, and the Alpine and the Hertz Team Jota car. Wow.
Risk of intervention not over. We've still got slippery surface flags being shown at 4 separate parts of the circuit. It is a drive-through penalty for the 3rd place car. Charles Malaysi's 35 Alpine for the contact.
Change position there for the Toyota. Finally gets the job done into turn 1. Makes the overtake stick this time around. The Jota has a little look to the inside of turn 3, but nothing doing this time. And yeah, a good position gained for Hirokawa up into P4.
Gregoire Saucy drops to 3rd place.
Well, here are some sorry-looking faces at Alpine. The 35 car, Charles Milesi, has not served his penalty yet. There's his 2 teammates, Mathieu Vassiliere, and in comes Milesi. And this penalty is going to cost them their podium before the end of the race. That will move Toyota, number 8, up into 3rd. Meanwhile, 50 Ferrari was... That's the 36 Alpine. He's lost another place. Antonio Fuoco struggling for pace late in the stint. This is not good news.
And being caught by both the Peugeots that are now up, by the way, to 8th and 9th place. Now, these could be championship implications.
Gregoire Saucy trying to hang on in the United Autosports McLaren to a 2nd potential podium. The WRT's Maxime Martin is right with him. He has been lapping quicker, looking to try and put this car on the podium. That would be the 2nd podium finish for this car.
Got a fight here down in towards turn 1, so this time around Schumacher on Rasmussen. Does the switchback, appears on the inside. A great move by Mick Schumacher.
On this pace, it could have been 2 cars on the podium. It could have been.
Here comes Maxime Martin. This car has had good results and rubbish luck at the same time, the 46 car. 4th in Qatar, 2nd in Imola in the rain. Their only other points finish is in 5th place, and they've had 2 retirements and a non-classified finish as well. So this is really important to get them back onto the podium. It's a strong run from the 46 car, and the middle stints by Valentino Rossi are some of the highlights of its race so far.
50 car under pressure here from the 93. Every place the Ferrari loses at this point is a further 2 points away from the championship lead.
Information to the pit lane. Car 808, drive-through penalty for ignoring blue flags and for fighting with car 6 at T15 and T16. Car 8, drive-through penalty for ignoring blue flags and fighting with car 6 at T15 and T16.
So the podium positions are still not done.
Look at the queue of cars queuing up to have a go at him. Both Peugeots, the Proton Competition Porsche is a lap down, so that's not part of it. But the Alpine behind those 2 Peugeots is also looking to have a go at the Ferrari.
This is the battle for the final podium place, because the number 12 car in the podium position now. Mick Schumacher looking to get that with the Alpine.
As we watched that battle behind, he was getting duffed up in the GT traffic, and the 93 Peugeot moves ahead of Hertz Team Jota and stays ahead of Hertz Team Jota. Well, here again in our LMGT3 field, TF Sports Charlie Eastwood, the yellow and black Corvette, ahead of Michel Gatti in the Iron Dames Lamborghini, and this is how, Anthony?
Yeah, just a plucky move down the inside there, wasn't it, from Eastwood into 13. In a way, he caught her napping. So we go back to this fight down at turn 6 between Nato and Schumacher. Does he think about going to the inside here? He does. He's popped it down the inside and gets the move done finally in the last corner. Does Nato stay in the slipstream? He will do, so it's not over yet. Don't celebrate too early, team. They know it. Lapierre knows it as well as the eyes go back to the screen. Nato's got the straight line speed. Starts to the outside, onto the marble. Schumacher's pushing him all the way that he can. But Jones has got a bit of straight line speed advantage. Brakes on the racing line. Who's this going to be? Goes around the outside. I don't think that's the right thing to do. You're going to get pushed down a road, surely. And he does, just a little bit. We go to the heli shot, and Schumacher finally can claim that position.
Not yet. He's got 6 minutes and 6 seconds yet to go, and then he's got to hold it to the checkered flag.
That Peugeot 2 seconds a lap quicker than this pair at the moment. Is it possible we can have a Peugeot on the podium?
Well, look at those logos. Porsche in the lead, okay, understood. BMW in the podium, first time this season. Alpine on the podium, first time this season. 5th place, that's comfortably the best result for Peugeot, even if they finish there. In fact, both Peugeots in the top 7, Peugeot's single best result of the year so far has been an 8th place for the 93 car. So this is a definite improvement. Both Alpines in the top 8. They were 5th and 9th last time out. And Kevin Estre and Dries Van Tor, I beg your pardon, no, that's 93 and 18. So that is... 12 rather, so the 93 Peugeot has got up into 4th place.
Yeah, Jensen absolutely flying. He's going to have to watch out a little bit here. Nato had to think about coming back on the inside, but yeah, Jensen has the pace.
The checkered flag is out. It is a victory in Fuji for Porsche. The last time Porsche raced here with the 919, they beat Toyota. This time they don't just beat Toyota. Toyota barely get into the points. It is BMW's number 15 car. Dries Van Tor brings it across the line. A massive result for the team after a really frustrating practice and qualifying. And in 3rd place, it will be the Alpine of Mick Schumacher. We also saw flashing the headlights, Manthey Pure Racing's Porsche. They win the, I beg your pardon, it's Vista AF Corsa Ferrari that wins in LMGT3. The Manthey Pure Racing will be the champions. And the Hypercar Teams champions, the World Cup, goes to Hertz Team Jota.
Podium for Valentino Rossi, as well as part of that 46 crew, and he did a lot of the heavy lifting in that effort. Excellent race from the Italian legend. By the way, one positional change on the very last lap. Charles Malaysia edging Stoffel van Dorn at the line by 8 thousandths of a second to claim 7th place.
Yeah, that was close, wasn't it? That was a real drag race. But nevertheless, both Alpine, both Peugeot in the points.
One of a little bit of history today. It will be the very first time that the Van Tor brothers have been on the podium together. That's only the 2nd time in WEC history that brothers have been on the podium. Last time was 10 years ago.
One race to go for the number 6 Porsche crew. They extend their championship advantage. Thomas Floor, Francesco Castellacci climb aboard the 54 Ferrari. Well, Mount Fuji, for once, didn't bring us any rain during the race. It's been dry all the way through.
We'll wait for confirmation of the points, but they've got a mighty lead now, even though we do have points and a half for Bahrain to finish the season. 2
titles have been tied up here. We saw Hertz Team Jota fighting to stay ahead of the Alpine and try and stay ahead of the Peugeot, but they were the best of the privately run hypercar teams, so Hertz Team Jota take the World Cup title. But our overall race winners, the number 6 car from Porsche Penske Motorsport. So Kevin Estre, Andrea Lotterer and Laurens Vanthoor take their 2nd win of the season.
History. Brothers on different steps of the podium in the WEC for the first time, with Dries Vanthoor joined by Raffaele Marciello and Marco Whitman for BMW's first podium, and then what a result for Alpine.
Yeah, a huge cheer. The 35 car, unfortunate that contact in traffic denied them a podium, but their sister team managed to fight back into that position. And if the Alpine team celebrated 5th place in Texas like it was a win, then they're going to be absolutely cock-a-hoop with a genuinely hard-fought podium. And both cars were podium contenders.
Looking back in the history books, I think the last time that Dries and Laurens Vanthoor shared a podium was the Nürburgring 24 Hours in 2019. A delight for this crew.
The team is represented by Mr. Francis Scheller.
Great looking trophies as well. Andre, yeah, what about mine? Oh, he was going to hand it to the wrong person. So, Andre Lautra, Kevin Est, and Lawrence Vantor, their second win of the season. And that's the sort of relentless podium honours grabbing performance that is going to win you titles. Well, Team WRT, well rewarded here. They had a torrid time in qualifying with the hypercars and GTs, but got a podium with both programmes. Here's how it finished then. Porsche's number 6 ahead of the BMW and Alpine. Peugeot in 4th ahead of the pair Hertz Team Jota cars. The second Alpine and the second Peugeot both in the points. 9th place means that the 50 Ferrari continues to be a slender outsider in the championship. In 13th place, our overall winner in LMGT3, the 54 Ferrari, but Manthey Pure Racing in 2nd place have taken the LMGT3 title. They cannot now be caught. And now in the GT3 car. So there are your winners.
One of our oldest drivers, of course, Thomas Fleur in the FIA World Endurance Championship. 2nd place is going to come to the number 92 Manthey Pure Racing team. What a season they have had.
First FIA World title for a Lithuanian team at Manthey Pure Racing.
Alex Malikin, bronze driver, Joel Sturm and Klaus Bachler. The 3 drivers took 2nd place here today.
Yeah, 46. This is the 2nd podium of the season for this team. Ahmed El-Hati, Valentino Rossi and Maxime Martin. They finished in 2nd place behind the Sister 31 car in the rain, in the tempest that was Imola. These guys, by finishing 3rd, are now 2nd in the championship as we go to Bahrain. They have overhauled Manthey EMA, who did not score. So the 46 BMW crew were 3rd in the championship.
No, it's 31.
Oh, yes, it is. I beg your pardon.
That's okay. 92.
I'm getting overexcited there.
I have to tell you, that's the first time we've seen the champion Goodyear caps. And very fine they are too.
Very fine too. So there are your winners for a 3rd time, a 2nd consecutive time here in Fuji.
Once again,
AF Corsa.
We've got a race to go this season, Martin. I think you'd agree, though, this LMGT3 class is maturing beautifully. There is the final result, sorry, not the final result, the results as we go to Bahrain.
But at 31 have closed to just 5 points behind 2nd place. So Manthey EMA have got a race on their hands, and 2 points further back, Heart of Racing. So the battle for 2nd in the championship is alive with the teams and the drivers, but it is Alexander Malikin, Joel Sturm and Klaus Bachler. They are the FIA Endurance Trophy champions in LMGT3. And in terms of our overall championship drivers, Andre Lautra, Kevin Est and Lawrence Vantor creep away. They're now 35 points ahead of Tonio Fuoco, Miguel Molina and Nick Nielsen. 2 points behind them, Kamui Kobayashi and Nick de Vries. Of course, no Mike Conway in the number 7 car lineup at Le Mans, so he's dropped out of contention. He's now down to 4th place as an individual, ahead of all the other teams of drivers. And Porsche 10 points ahead of Toyota, as Ferrari had just slipped a little. But in the battle of the new boys, Alpine creep ahead of BMW, and Hertz Team Jota, the FIA World Cup Teams title winners, ahead of AF Corsa and Proton Competition. Well, here are the Jota crew. Norman Nato, Will Stevens, Oliver Rasmussen, who brought the 38 car to the line.
A tough season for them so far, but 2nd place in the Hypercar World Cup today.
And again, neither Jota Porsche looked like it had anything at all in qualifying.
No, and a 5th and 6th overall.
Yeah. And again, qualifying pace and race pace, not necessarily always the same thing. The 99 car looked a much better deal in qualifying, but it didn't really look like it had what it took in the race.
So 1, 2, 3 for Porsche.
So a tough race for Toyota. They will bounce back. But for the rest of them, it's now all about loading up and shipping out and heading to Bahrain. We will see you in the beginning of November, the first weekend of November, for the 8th and final race in the 2024 FIA World Endurance Championship. Until then, from all of us here, thank you for joining us. We will see you then. But for now, from Fuji, sayonara and goodbye.